Me is a reminder to every black man in America. No matter how rich, no matter how wealthy, no matter how famous, you are still a ninja in this society. And you better never forget the
Oh my God.
part.
How you feel about this situation with Shedeur Sanders, him getting drafted in the 5th round?
The Shedeur Sanders scandal, as I'm going to call it. Not a scandal on his part, but a scandal on the racist NFL part. To me, is a reminder to every black man in America. No matter how rich, no matter how wealthy, no matter how famous, you are still a ninja in this society. And you better never forget that. First of all,
Yeah, what exactly do people mean by that? Like, what exactly do people mean by that? And to be totally honest, when I think about Shedeur's situation, it's so wild. I couldn't even think of a white quarterback. Like, I wanted to compare it. Like, okay, is Shedeur being mistreated? Let me think of a situation where a white quarterback behaved like Shedeur Sanders and didn't get picked up as early as some people thought. Now, I heard of situations with players getting arrested and all this other stuff. But going into, see, this is what people, I don't think people realize. If you get arrested for a DUI or even something else that could be far more extreme, I'm just saying what it is. And you go into a company and a company's getting ready to hire you, or they're deciding who they want to hire between. And they got the player that got in some trouble, but conducted themselves well, is sitting there as far as in the interview and says, I really just want to, I messed up. I had a couple of, situations off the field, that put me in a bad place. I just really want to, be a part of the team, contribute however I can, and help lead in whatever role that I'd be playing. Compared to a player, let's say, didn't get in any trouble, but had a personal brand that they value maybe more than the team brand, and that is arrogant enough to tell billionaires, if you don't want your culture changed, if you don't want me to change your culture, billionaire, then don't come get me. Just being real. In my dealings with companies or maybe people that have money, they do not want to be told what to do. They do not like for other people to control or to say what is going to happen with their billion-dollar enterprise. They'll tolerate the person that got in trouble, just being real. So I'm only saying that to bring up the fact, like, we could say that, well, that's morally wrong. We could say all that. Cool. But that doesn't feed the narrative of this happened to Shedeur because he's black and the NFL is racist. You think about a Johnny Manziel, and first off, we shouldn't even be putting Johnny Manziel in the same sentence as Shedeur Sanders. Johnny Manziel beat Bama twice. Johnny Manziel is perhaps the most impressive college football player ever when you look based on the team that he was playing for and what he did at the position that he did it. There's no comparison to him and Johnny Manziel. I know Baker Mayfield even got into a situation where, he was like, I don't know, didn't he get like a DUI or something like that? And I'm sure Baker didn't conduct himself in interviews how Shedeur Sanders conducted himself. People will take more of a chance, and Shedeur ain't Baker. At least in college. He can become Baker maybe, who knows? But Shedeur resume ain't Baker. So there's no comparison that I could think of to even be able to say, well, this player behaved like Shedeur and they were still able to be successful and teams didn't mind. There's no comparison. That's how outrageous his behavior was. I can't think of any other player, period, that behaved like Shedeur, black or white.
Shedeur Sanders was my favorite college football player for the past couple of years. He's probably going to be my second favorite football player behind Jalen Hurts. I even heard that the Eagles were interested in him, but I believe, allegedly, that the NFL owners got together, and I do believe, unlike my good brother Stephen A. Smith, and I do believe, unlike my good brother Stephen A. Smith, that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe, allegedly, was also involved in on this scandal to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son Shedeur on draft day. I believe
They colluded to embarrass Shedeur. Yo, this is what happens when you pigeonhole yourself into certain positions and you have a certain brand, right? This is like a rapper who they started off making music about selling drugs and running drills on people, killing ops, but then they mature and they don't want to make music like that anymore. But the people still want him to be like, and when he puts out conscious music, nobody buys it. So now the rapper is like, damn, I'm not making any money putting out the conscious stuff.
Ew. Sorry to interrupt the video. We got a new challenge. 20,000 by the end of April. We fell short in March, but we're gonna get our goal this month. Thank you all in advance for those that are gonna continue to like, subscribe, maybe even leave some comments and let us know how we're doing. And on that note, let me let y'all get back to the video and I'll see y'all soon. Ew.
That's more mature. Now I'm gonna go back to putting out the ignorant stuff. This is what happens with Dr. Umar when you pigeonhole yourself into seeing the world, everything through who's black, who's white. I'm on the black side. That's the white side. All right, I'm against them. Who's more on the black side? That's what I'm rocking with. When you pigeonhole yourself into having these mindsets because that's the brand that you built yourself or built your platform on, I feel like it impacts your thoughts and perspectives on a lot of these situations. This is like, come on now.
that all 32 NFL team owners and their executives and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe they all came together in a KK Ku Klux Klan type of clandestine meeting, and they decided, allegedly, I believe, that they were going to embarrass,
They came together in a KKK Ku Klux Klan type of meeting. Yo, I told y'all before, sometimes I sit back, and this is a lesson for all of us. I used to follow this man, and I still give him credit for helping out my journey, whatever you want to call it, enlightenment, just helping me learn more. I still have to give credit where credit is due, but he's gone off the rails. He's gone off the rails. There is no level of accountability with him. And I'm be totally honest. I think it's only going to get worse and has only gotten worse when he got exposed for not being in his daughter's life after making a brand off of supporting women and calling out black men and holding them accountable to being a father in their lives by any means necessary. But then your daughter gets on social media and calls out the fact that you've never even been to a birthday party of hers and you don't pick up her calls. And then you respond on Instagram like you're talking to some type of booger that you're arguing back and forth with. And it's not your daughter talking about, oh, let's make some content off of this. Like we could get on live and talk. So now I think he's just going to lean more and more into his niche or his strongest group of supporters and be very scared to say things that may offend that strong group of supporters because he's probably lost so much respect amongst the community, just to be totally honest.
Humiliate and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son, Shedeur Sanders, on draft day. Everybody who is anybody, Art, in the world of sports, whether you are amateur, novice, professional, expert, everyone had Shedeur Sanders being picked in the top 10. Nobody had him sliding out of the top 25. Nobody.
What are you talking about, bro? Is Bez in the chat? Bez had him not in the first round. And what you're missing is the problem. The people, all of the pundits, the ESPNs, all these, they lied. They gassed up Deion. Just like we're seeing what's happening right now, people jumping out the window to justify Shedeur's and Deion's behavior. Those same people were celebrating him and holding him in such high regards that the rest of us thought like, oh yeah, he may get taken number 1 overall. But everybody wasn't saying that. The problem was if you said anything critical of Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders, there was a whole group of people ready to jump on you and call you racist, call you this, call you that. So nobody kept it real. And what's happening right now, you see more and more people that are actually saying, oh, this ain't about race. Even the typical race baiters. You heard Jamel Hill come out and say it. Even Ryan Clark, I think, came out and said something. There was another, Bomani Jones. There were a few people that have leaned into the racist race baiting before, who they even came out and said, nah. Even Jamel Hill was like, look, I've been so critical of the NFL. I'm the number 1 person that's been critical of the NFL and how racist it's been, but this isn't about race. But Dr. Umar has no other foundation to stand on.
Nobody, anywhere, anyhow, had Shedeur Sanders out of the top 25. Most had him in the 10. Some people like myself had him in the top 3.
Some people like himself had him in the top 3. Who is Dr. Umar? When it comes to football. Like, yo, Dr. Umar has Shedeur in the top 3. Let's draft him. And he heard that the Eagles were interested. Let's get him off let's get him out of here early before somebody picks him up. He was in Dr. Umar's top 3. In Dr. Umar's group chat, everybody had him in at least the top 10.
I had him as number 1. Because as you know, the quarterback position is one of the toughest positions to fill on any football team, let alone NFL. Travis Hunter goes twice. Congratulations to Travis. I'm happy for him.
Goes twice.
Cam Ward, University of Miami. He goes first. Congratulations to Cam Ward. I'm happy for that brother. Wish him the best. Him and Shedeur was really the toss-up for number 1. Who would be 1? Who would be 2?
According to you.
Him, Shedeur, and Travis were assumed to be the top 3 picks. However order they came, most people thought Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. So we're watching the NFL draft. And by the way, everybody watched the draft to see where Shedeur was going. Cam Ward went 1. Travis went 2. The only person left, Art, to watch to see where they fell was who? Shedeur Sanders.
Sorry. That's because people hyped him up. People like you, Dr. Umar, people who don't know anything about football. hyped him up. Shedeur did what? He had he had the best roster in HBCU football by far, didn't win an HBCU championship, then went 13-12 in Colorado. What are we talking about? But because everybody hyped him up, everybody got on this Deion train, super fans and everything else like that, people wanted to see it happen, doesn't mean that it's going to happen. I know a whole lot of people that I grew up with that used to talk all this NFL or die or a league or die stuff. Doesn't mean that they went to the league. They're not dead. They're still here. They're working. People can say and believe certain things. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Dr. Umar is completely misled in this. We're only going to watch a couple more minutes of this.
So guess what? No team selected him in the first round. Even teams that needed a starting quarterback and teams that needed a good backup quarterback. Second round comes, no teams again. Third round comes, no teams again. Fourth round comes, no teams again. And then in the fifth round, Art, Shedeur Sanders, one of the easily top 5 best football players in college last year, the only quarterback, the only one last year, Art, to complete 80% of his passes, an FBS record. Shedeur Sanders was the only quarterback to complete 80% of his passes in the entire FBS, and he doesn't get selected until number 144. 144. He was at the bottom of the first half of all of those who were drafted.
See, this is the problem. Something that he just said didn't sound right. It was 74% completion rating. It was a 74% completion rating, not 80, bro. Like this is what happens when we just believe people blindly. We believe Dr. Umar blindly for his school that he was been supposed to build 10 years ago. Hopefully it gets up and running soon. But this is just, at this point, I'm just showing the rest of this video. Let's watch maybe one more minute just to show how easy it is for our people to be misled. Like, these are our leaders. Let's be very clear. He is very influential. Man.
Out of 230-something draftees, Shedeur comes in at 144. Nobody can convince anybody that Shedeur was only the 144th best player in this year's draft. You know what this was, Art? This was the NFL plantation slave masters. This was the NFL's plantation slave masters coming together to remind Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, and Black America that you have no say-so here. You have no power here. And if you ever think that you are our equal, we will destroy you.
So I guess when we go to our regular jobs, if we act like Shedeur and our bosses, managers tell us, hey, we're either not going to compensate you what you are saying that you think that you should have gotten just based on your behavior, or we're not going to hire you. I guess we should just all take that as a reminder that we're still Negroes or niggas, like so many people have said, whether it's Gilly, I think Dr. Umar mentioned that as well. This is it's interesting times we're living in. Let me kind of pivot. We're going to go to this Michelle Obama video. Kind of done with this one. Let me actually, I want to show y'all this clip of Keyshawn Johnson real quick. Let me show y'all this clip of Keyshawn. This is hilarious. Hold on. I know I have it here. Give me a second. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't get it. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.